You're listening to Unshaken, the Hope Dealer podcast, where we rise, heal, and make no excuses. I'm your host, Jason Brooks. Let's turn trauma into truth and pain into power. Let's go. What's up, y'all? It is your host, Jason, and I'm back for another episode of Unshaken, the Hope Dealer podcast. So glad you're back with us. But this month is the month of May. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but this is the mental health month, right? So, I mean, in my opinion, every month we should be concentrating and focusing on mental health. But the month of May is especially focusing on mental health. So this month, and every month, really, on this podcast, we're going to be really focusing on mental health. But this episode in general, as we go throughout this episode, I'm going to be popping up on your screen. We're going to be popping up some tips, things that you can do throughout the month of May or through any time in your life, really. Some tips, things you can do to focus on your mental health, whether it's going to the spa, or meditating, just some different things that are really popular or things that maybe I do. But I just wanted to have an episode that's dedicated towards self-care. And that's what this episode is about, self-care. So without further ado, let's get started. But, a lot of people know that I'm really big into self-care. And if you don't, now you do. But there's a lot of different things that I do, right? So just to kind of give you an idea, one of the things that I do a lot of is I go see a shaman, right? So once a month, and typically around the full moon, I go see a fifth generation shaman. And I actually went and seen her last week. And this I attribute to, this is probably the biggest thing that I attribute to my continued sobriety, my continued mental health, my continued clarity. But I just don't know what I would do without it, to be quite honest with you. Anytime I'm feeling out of alignment, anytime that my stress levels feels like it's out of control, which these days, I'll be honest with you, is few and far in between. Anytime I feel that maybe I'm depressed or angry, again, these days that doesn't happen that often, to be quite honest with you, which I'm very grateful for. Now, it used to happen quite a bit, but it just doesn't anymore, and I'm very grateful for that. But so that's one of the things that I do, and the thing that is really good about that is, one thing you'll always hear me say is therapy, right? Everybody should have a form of therapy. And a lot of people say, I don't talk about my feelings. I don't do this. I don't do that. Neither did I. And, and a large part of that is the reason why I ended up hitting my rock bottom, right? Because I'm half Japanese, if you didn't know. I'm sure you probably tried to guess, but I am half Japanese, and any type of knees, basically, any type of Asian background, a lot of us are taught or raised that you don't show your feelings, you don't share your feelings. Plus, I was raised in a military family, so similar type situation, right? So, yeah, I didn't talk about my feelings, and really, I never did until really these last 3 years, 3 or going on 4 years now. But therapy is the best thing you could ever do. And I mean, whether it's for your marriage, whether it's for your family, whether it's for your sobriety, whether it's just to stay up on your mental health, it's huge. It is absolutely huge, and is absolutely critical. But in my particular situation, I started seeing my shaman about 2 years ago, and I'm very big into energy healing. And I got into energy healing when I was in rehab, back in 2021, mid 2021. We talked about this in another episode, but I got into energy healing, got into sound baths, got into crystals. Then my rehab was not a traditional one. Now, it was focused on AA, but it also gave us other avenues of thought, right? So it wasn't necessarily that you had to do it this way, or you had to do it that way. It gave you different options. And this is the way that I leaned into. But no matter the way, you can do things however you want, just do it, right? Whether it comes to mental health, addiction, do it your way. Whatever works for you, as long as it works for you, do it. But anyway, so I've been seeing her about a little bit over 2 years, and it's been the biggest positive impact in my life, really. A lot of people, when it comes to addiction, they go to AA, they go to NA, they go to meetings. I used to do that. I did stop doing that because for me, that wasn't my thing. Continued therapy, helping others, doing things like this podcast is my therapy. Helping others, giving back is my therapy. And I'll always continue to give back, whether it's through this, philanthropy. I give a lot back through philanthropy. I'm the type of person that believes you can never go broke by giving back. So I give back a ton. Matter of fact, when I give back, it's never enough in my mind. But yeah, so I mean, that's my therapy to me is giving back to others, helping others. What you give out comes back to you. I'm a huge believer in. But yeah, so my shaman is huge to me. Like I said, big into energy healing. Whether you believe in, you go to a Reiki master, which I've done that as well. I actually was training to become a Reiki master and got to my Reiki too. But I'm also huge into crystals. I love my crystals. Matter of fact, I wear this on the daily. It is citrine, which is my favorite crystal. It's for abundance. I wear copper bracelets. I wear a bunch of different crystals. I keep carnelian in my pocket. I wear a lot of different things, keep a lot of things about positivity. I probably have about 200 crystals in my collection. So whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, I really don't care. My thing is it works for me. You have things that are going to work for you, and I'm going to stand by and support you. I just want to see you having the best mental health, staying clean, staying happy and healthy. That's the most important thing with this podcast is I want to help you. I just want to be a part of your journey to see you focused on your mental health, to see you happy. That is the most important thing. It's just a form of community of like-minded individuals that we can absolutely thrive together. So drop me some DMs, send some comments. What do you do? I mean, what do you do for your mental health? Do you go to a shaman? Do you go to a Reiki master? Do you meditate? Do you set intentions in the morning? Hey, this is what my day is going to consist of. Do you set intentions in the evening? I do these things, right? Every day before I start my workday, I go sit by my pool and I say how grateful I am to wake up. I'm so grateful that the sun is in my eyes, the wind is in my hair, my feet touch the ground. Little things like that. I mean, you let the universe know, or your God, or whatever your God is. Like I said before, mine is the universe, but you got to be grateful. You just got to be grateful. I say I'm grateful and I feel grateful every morning and every evening. It comes back to you. Like it just responds. It responds to your energy. So these are just different things that I do for my mental health. Being a positive person. I was talking about this to somebody the other day, and it had to do with, we don't all have perfect days. We don't all have good days, right? Some days, our days are absolute shit. Like, for instance, in my job, I'm in a sales oriented job, right? Being in this type of profession, there are going to be absolute shit days. There just will. You just can't help it, right? With that being said, everybody doesn't need to know that, right? So I can see a customer, and even though the last 2 hours have been absolutely terrible, what I want to do is I want to make everybody else that I come in contact with feel absolutely wonderful, right? I want to walk into a room and just raise the energy. Raise the energy. And you can do the same thing, right? Don't let what's happened to you impact those around you. Just don't. You keep doing this, you keep focusing on putting positive energy out there, and I guarantee you, I promise you that that positive energy is going to come back to you. It's going to take work, it's going to take repetition, repetition, repetition. But I can promise you, you continue to do it, you keep doing it, it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you tenfold. But again, I want to know what it is that you do. I have a friend that they do float therapy. I was like, what in the world is float therapy? I just had to try this out, right? So I met her. It's a place right up the road, and I can't even think the name of it, but it was the coolest thing, right? We go and they basically lock you in this room, like close this big old metal door behind you, and it's this huge pool of salt water. You pretty much float on your back. And it's the coolest thing because the ceiling is completely blacked out in here too, right? So just imagine this. You're floating on your back. Everything's completely black, except they have these stars on the ceiling, right? So imagine yourself just floating in space, like you're floating in outer space. It is the most peaceful, tranquil feeling that you can experience. And you just walk out of this feeling so nourished, so alive, so grounded, so relaxed. One piece of advice, do not open your eyes in there. Do not rub your eyes because it is straight up salt water and it will burn like a mofo. So that's a piece of advice. But yeah, so these are some different things that I either do or I've done. Another thing that really nourishes me is, and I've had this expression, I've said this before, is with the opposite of addiction being connection, is when the day that I decided that I was going into rehab, I called or messaged certain people that I knew that I would not be able to have relationships with ever again. I also called the people that really meant something to me and let them know what was happening. And these are the people to this day that I still have really, really, really tight relationships with. I've poured myself into these relationships. So this to me is self-care, because when you surround yourself with a loving community of like-minded people, and these don't all have to be people exactly like you. Like, not everybody that I surround myself with is 100% sober. Some of them aren't sober at all, but they're all supportive. They all know I don't drink. Nobody has ever even asked me to drink. Not one person going on 4 years has ever said, Jason, do you want to drink? Not one ever has, because they know. That's the kind of people you need to surround yourself with. And that's a form of self-care. The form of self-care where you surround yourself with people that uplift you, that support you, that love you, that no matter what, have your back. There's all different forms of self-care, whether it's therapy, meditation, pedicures, manicures, massages, spending time with your families, going on nature walks, hiking. I love grounding. You can go do a grounding mat if it's raining outside. You can just take off your shoes and go run in the grass. Vacations. I love vacations. But there's a lot of different things you can do. But I'm going to end this episode now. I hope you had a chance to take a look at some of the tips that was dropped in this video. If not, you can always circle back. Listen, watch these episodes over and over and over again. Subscribe. Share this with all your friends. The more people, the merrier. I mean, we need to get mental health under control, addiction under control. It is the silent killer. But I love you all. Look forward to the next episode. It's going to be bonkers, but we will talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Unshaken, the Hope Dealer podcast, where we turn trauma into truth and pain into power. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe and keep showing up for your healing. Until next time, stay brave, stay bold, and stay unshaken.